What is up, everybody? Turboverse here today. Apparently, after last month, we saw the whole round of people getting laid off at Bungie. The news remains even worse because those remaining at Bungie say the cuts, as well as other cost-cutting measures, may be a part of an apparent scramble by studio leadership to avoid a total takeover of the Destiny studio. So pretty much Sony are doing a full takeover over this studio because Bungie, even though it was acquired by PlayStation and Sony, they still have some independency which they wanted. They could do their own thing, but now because these games are not doing too well in a major layoff, they may just fully not be independent anymore and fully be under PlayStation's thumb, which they didn't want. Another report says Bungie devs say atmosphere is soul crushing at the moment, amid layoffs, cuts, and a fear of total Sony takeover. Destiny 2 and Marathon developer may not be able to cling to the last of its independence forever. So this is not a good sign. They don't want PlayStation to fully take over the Bungie team, but that might happen. And this is the Sony fanboy response to this news. The F do you fear if you agree to be taken over to begin with? Yeah, it really must be frightening to be under the same roof as Naughty Dog, Santa Monica, and Insomniac, etc. So it's just funny how Sony fanboys literally go with anything. That's whatever PlayStation says, Sony fanboys agree with. Like, you're really fine with this company not being independent, but being forced to do what Sony tells them to do now? Really? We're really okay on that? So much for we support the devs and their originality. It's like, you just do what Sony tells you to do now. Now take a look. And then put in the same category as Naughty Dog, the people who are forced to do Last of Us Part 1 and 2 remakes and remasters consistently. I don't know if that's a good category you want to be in, but yeah. Not looking good at all for Bungie. It is in turmoil right now. People saying it's soul crushing to be at Bungie right now, so this is not a good look. And then there was one quote from Jim Ryan, I can't find it right now, but he was saying that Bungie was a better investment than Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. And it's like, this is not looking the case right now. People at Bungie are not liking being part of PlayStation right now. So PlayStation is not in a good position right now. And a major studio like Bungie just doesn't want to be enough to do anything with them. So it's very interesting. Then people want to say, why don't you post any positive PlayStation news? What positive PlayStation news is it? There's only been negative PlayStation news for the past few months. It's like, he just got the newest studio saying it's soul crushing being with PlayStation. So that's not a good look. But let's see what people have to say about this. I think I enjoyed when Bungie was running this independently, but it's hard to tell, and I'm not sure if Sony have control would bring better or worse practices for multi-platform consumers. I definitely don't want to see platform-exclusive content return. I will firmly say that I'd be okay with this. Bungie isn't capable of running this thing by themselves, nor caring about the consumer anymore. I mean, they did just fine with Halo. So it's just fascinating now that they're on the PlayStation. You just said they just have no idea what they're doing. You know, they made great franchises like Halo, but okay. I hate to say it, but the leadership did this to themselves. They grew complacent, neglected the game, didn't listen to feedback of both players and devs, and now players have reached a point where they don't want to continue playing or will stop after final shape. These are just the only things you need to know. Final shape isn't going to be good. They just want it to do good. They aren't actually doing anything about it. They are ignoring the devs that know players aren't happy with the game and are refusing to take any blame. Feels weird seeing IGN engage in actual journalism for once as opposed to just posting clickbait. And this person says, oof. And it's funny that he's mentioning Halo Infinite in this meme right here, but you know, people were saying Halo Infinite were just doing so bad, so terrible. 343 just mismanaging Halo, but they completely turned Halo Infinite around as one of the most successful live service games at the moment. Halo 5 had a complete resurgence, but you know, Destiny they were praising Bungie so much, but Bungie is in a lot of turmoil. Like, this might be it pretty much it for this company with this game right here. So it's just interesting how the tables have turned. People were slandering 343, but now 343 might have known what they were doing all along. Just saying. That's what they get for being bought by Sony. People, they're definitely regretting that Sony purchase right now. I miss the Halo era of Bungie. I mean, they have some great games under. Bungie has some great games making great Halo games, but this whole Sony era is not looking good. Geez, no way this gets worse, right? It looks like it's just falling downhill at this point. Like I don't see a bright end to the story at this point. If Bungie falls short of its revenue goals by too great of an amount, Sony is allowed to dissolve the existing board and take full control of the company. They're about to get the old Majin Buu absorbed. It's time for people to understand that Bungie has the problem. So many different owners, Microsoft, Activision, and Bungie, and every time they have problems. I don't remember all these problems under Microsoft with Halo. Like he's saying all these different problems, but I don't remember these problems with Halo. But them making Halo for Microsoft. But you know, it's just we're gonna try to excuse all this blame from PlayStation as much as we can, right? Sony assumed direct control via hostile takeover. It represents the Mass Effect. Okay. When you make a deal with the devil. Pretty much saying Sony is the devil at this point. Bungie should have went back to Xbox. Would have been a better outcome for them than what Sony has done. Only Sony taking full control can save them. Let's go PlayStation. Yeah, because PlayStation is going to make it so much better, apparently. With all the damn live service games they was pushing out, then they halved the amount of live service because they just knew it was ridiculous to put out that many live service games. I don't think it's going to get any better with Sony taking full control. I don't think how it's going to make it better. I don't know, but this is what fanboys saying. It's going to make it better, apparently. Only a fanboy would defend this horrible work environment. Sony House is on fire. Okay, so this person says Xbox fans showing they don't know anything about how bad Bungie is, and has it been before Sony based on the reaction to this is peak irony. Once again, we didn't hear about Bungie being this terrible when they were making Halo games for Microsoft, but now they're just a bad company now according to Sony fanboys. Okay. You mean a bunch of successful single-player studios? Can you name one successful multiplayer studio from Sony? They literally pulled these guys into oversight 12 of their games. They want to complain because they're not making enough revenue when oversight makes zero revenue. Sony has a history of sinking or swimming. If they don't perform, then Sony gives them the axe, and Bungie has lost a lot of support from the most loyal players. Not the first and won't be the last thing that Sony destroys. Because maybe Bungie doesn't want to turn into a movie studio. Oh man. It is good to warn and being fearful of Naughty Dog sweatshop culture. Not an ideal example for a counterpoint. Bungie should return to Microsoft. I don't think they can return to Microsoft. They're literally under a contract with Sony, so they're stuck there unless people just quit and they make a whole new team of past Bungie employees, but they're stuck with Sony. So Microsoft couldn't do anything if they wanted to. So definitely sucks to see once again. But yeah, it's just funny how quickly Sony fanboys just turn on Bungie like this. They say, "What the hell are you mad about? You should be proud of Sony having full control over you, even though you wanted to be independent, but still make content for Sony." They want to leave Sony eventually. Okay. It's almost like if they want to retain creative freedom in their games and not have to be stuck on one platform. Shocking, I know. Yeah. So this is not looking good for these people, right? This company right now. And once again, them saying it's soul crushing is just very telling right there. Not a good look for a new company that was acquired by PlayStation. So those are my thoughts on this. It's kind of sad to see that the studio is not getting in a better position, and even fear of being a complete takeover by PlayStation, which they don't want. So sucks to see, but yeah, definitely want to see your thoughts down below about this. Leave a like this video, and as always, thanks for watching, and peace.